All right, welcome to Switch It Up, and you are tuning in to something that's actually kind of fun. Your ear doesn't hurt. I'm not that loud, Sheila. I'm not that loud. This is part 3. Is the RV lifestyle for you? That's this series. That's what we're doing. So this is part 3, and I'm looking forward to it. What are we going to talk about?
Well, last week we talked about how often are you the decision you need to make about how often you're going to go out and what type of camping you're going to do.
Right.
And that decision is important because today we're talking about rig types.
So this is going to be a 2-part series. We're going to cover the first part, but we will do that right in 3, 2, 1, right after these messages. Well, actually, our intro.
A man and a woman left their home to switch things up and go on the road. They didn't know where they would go, but it's gotta be better than staying home. They switched it up. They switched it up.
And we're back. That was quick, wasn't it? It's like a jiffy. Like those old shows. We're back in a jiffy.
I didn't go anywhere.
I know, but they're still singing the song, aren't you? I bet they are. Stuck in their head. Okay, so Sheila, let's keep us on track. We're going to cover a lot of ground in a short amount of time, and this will be just simply a starting point for if you're starting this journey to kind of figure out where you might land and where you should start researching. Don't you think?
Yeah, and we're bringing you along on this journey with us because we are considering we're having the same conversations about what we're going to do next.
Mm-hmm.
So
we might switch it up. You don't know. Not right at the moment, but in the future.
Yes. So we're walking through this at the same time. So
where are we starting?
We're starting. This first part is about what type of rig do you need or desire or want to go out.
Because they answered the decision part on the front part, because they defined where they want to and how they want to.
What type of camping they want to do and how often they're going out. So today we're just going to talk about the smaller rigs.
Okay.
So
are we going to start all the way down to like a pop-up tent?
I think, no, not a tent. This is RV life.
Oh, RV life. So we can,
we do like a pop-up trailer.
Okay, so let's give you the ground rules. We've been shooting video now for quite a while about this segment, and we've been trying to capture people along the way that are in different segments. And so in some of this, you're going to see us jump to us maybe walking through and looking through things, or maybe interviewing people in these next 2 parts. I think that's good to know, because you'll be like, wait a minute, where'd they go? So if you see an edit after we get done talking about something, you're going to see kind of us processing things as we were out and about.
Yes, so if we talk about a pop-up
tent, we don't have a pop-up camper. We don't have like a lot of footage on that.
We haven't run into but here's the thing about a pop-up. If you're in a tent now, and you're thinking, oh, maybe we want to upgrade to a pop-up trailer, that's a good next step.
Oh, pull behind, yeah.
Yes, because there's a lot of benefits. You're not sleeping on the ground.
Oh, that would be like luxury number 1.
You have an air conditioning and some
luxury number 2.
Water on board and a refrigerator and actually all the things
in smaller space.
Much smaller, but compared to a tent.
Yeah, it's like luxurious living.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's like moving on up.
Oh, you're dating yourself there for sure. So I would say that those are for people. So all of these small rigs, like all of them we're going to talk about today, would be good options if you said, yes, we want to be in the national parks, we want to go to city and state parks.
Price can be a factor as well.
We want to go to, let me finish the places.
Oh, see, she's trying to keep us in line. Okay, go ahead.
So you want to go to state parks, city parks, national parks, maybe mooch docking or boondocking. These, it's easy, to pull a pop-up trailer into a friend's driveway.
Mm-hmm. A lot of these things in this first part are easily towable. Like you could actually use the vehicle you have currently.
Right.
In a lot of instances, you don't need to go get a big truck. You could probably, you could tow it with a Ford Explorer, or our daughter has a Durango or something like that. I mean, you can choose. Even a minivan.
Well, that'd be for the towable ones, but one of these is a C, which is drive.
Well, or van life.
Our van life.
Okay, let's go through. So we've gone through. I know, I'm all over.
I know. I try, people. I really try, and I fail you all the time.
So we got the pop-up, the old classic where the bed pops this way, the bed pops this way, and all the parties in the middle. That's the way I describe those. What's next?
A van life would be
Van life.
Now you're not towing that.
No,
You're
but
driving that.
in price is all over the place.
Well, you can have can have an older used van that's been. You could do a conversion van.
You can do all of those.
Or you
things.
can go all the way up to a luxury mini winnie.
Now we've gone and we've searched out. We've walked around. When we were out here at this one little place, we walked around Winnebago and their new vans that just came out. So let's share that with you real quick. So I thought that would be kind of neat just to see a walk around, kind of what's inside. So let's do that. Now, after we did our little walk around, we were blessed that we were in Wyoming, remember?
Uh-huh.
And we had a really awesome time where we got to actually meet some people on their first van life experience in none other than an Airstream. Remember that?
Airstream?
Yes, it was an Airstream. It was fabulous.
I didn't even know Airstream did van life.
Oh, yeah. And I didn't get to do the full tour, but the whole point of that is that, yes, you have to, when you research them, they are not like the price of a pop-up. They're like the price of a Super C in some instances, but they are really amazing things. Let's let them share their story so you can kind of see that and hear from them on why they chose van life. And I think we were outside of Yellowstone, or around Du Bois when we met them, somewhere around in there.
And it's Du Bois.
Du Bois. Well, anyway, we digress. Go see them. All right. I actually made it. I am not loud. It's silly. We're with Christy and Rich and Sheila. We're talking about van life, and they are new to the van life world. How long?
Less than a week.
First trip. And I was wanting to do this video and talking to different people, and Sheila was like, well, let's interview them real quick. So tell us your experience on why you chose van life, why over some of the other rigs. Have you had another rig besides van life? Or is this your first one?
No, this is our first RV of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
And you chose van life?
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what? Walk me through the steps.
So anyway, we have a lot of friends who have campers and who go out of town for 2 or 3 months out of the year, and they always come home and talk about all these great stories, how much fun they're having and everything. But we didn't feel like we wanted to just go to one place and stay in one place for a long time, because there's so much to see and there's so many places to go. So we wanted the flexibility of being able to, stay someplace for a couple days, and if we felt like it, we would just, unhook and everything, and we'd take off and we'd go someplace else for a couple days. And so this totally gives us that option to be able to go do whatever we want to do. Like, for example, we stayed here one night, we unhooked yesterday, we went to Yellowstone, we came back, we hooked up again, and we're leaving tomorrow and we're heading to Mount Rushmore, we're going to stay there. Yeah, and so we just have this flexibility now to be able to do this.
That's awesome.
It just works for us.
I was talking to Rich earlier, and you mentioned you actually watched another YouTuber in the van life world that kind of influenced you. Who was that?
I can't remember their names exactly.
Well, they didn't influence you too much there, Rich.
Right.
Well, he made the decision.
Nothing like switch it up. Hey, they're switch it up crew people too.
Eileen or Irene, Jake.
Oh, Jake's a killer.
So it was a couple that I think they were from Minnesota.
Right.
They bought they call it a Sprinter thing.
Right.
Jake, stop. So they bought a Sprinter and they lived in it full time for 2 years.
Yeah.
And actually we started following them or watching some of the videos after we had already committed to buying this.
Right.
That doesn't.
Because you were trying to gain knowledge on what you like.
Right.
And they were pretty knowledgeable on how to. We didn't even know what boondocking was until we started watching those videos and stuff. And I mean, things from what to pack, the top 10 things you have to have in here, because you know, our friends have these huge RVs.
Yeah.
They bring everything, and it's great. These, you have to pick and choose what you're going to bring with you.
So after a week,
very small.
have you done well with your adjustments on trying to get everything in?
You feel like you forgot anything?
Well,
Like,
so what we did was, we stayed at the first place, and I brought a little piece, a tablet of paper and a pen, and I was gonna write down kind of anything that we might have forgotten or whatever, and I think we have 2 things on there. So we did really well.
That's awesome.
We did real well about making sure we only brought what we needed, just enough of what we needed, and we really don't think that we're going to have to go home and take a bunch of stuff out, and there's really not a lot we need to put in. So we did a pretty good job, actually.
So you think that people should actually look into van life?
You know, yeah, I'm not a rep for any but so here's, I chose Airstream because it's got the nautical feel, it's got a history behind it.
I didn't even notice it was an Airstream.
Yeah.
Ooh, my Airstream people are going to be happy.
Well, but it's kind of cool that it has that nautical touch. It's got the portholes, and so I was in the Coast Guard for 11 years, and so we chose that, partly for those reasons. But, and again, I'm not a rep, but this thing, we put 1,500 miles on it since last Tuesday, and it's been a rock star. I mean, it drives like a minivan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nimble. We were at Yellowstone yesterday, in and out of parking spots.
Just like you would a car or a truck.
Normal sized parking spots. We back into one. Old Faithful was crazy, busy, but we found a spot, a little tiny spot.
So there's the benefits of using van life versus doing we're driving a truck and unloading and doing all that stuff.
Absolutely.
you feel like you can still cook in it, and you have a dog with you, so that does add a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, watching the YouTubers that we watched, one of the pieces of advice that Chris, I believe was her name, she gave us was to do a lot of prep before you leave. That way you're not inside cooking and cleaning and washing dishes and everything, while you're wanting to be outside and have fun. So, I made a whole bunch of food before we even left the house, and it's all in the refrigerator. And so, we get up in the morning, and I have a toaster. We can make toast. This morning, we had leftover steak and potatoes from the steakhouse we went to last night, and threw a couple eggs in there, and that was easy. And so then yesterday at Yellowstone, we pulled over, and I jumped back there and made a couple turkey sandwiches, and so it's real simple if you plan ahead and you prepare.
Nice.
You can just pull things out, and you're eating healthier. It's more cost effective, obviously, and we're able to eat the things that we want to eat.
What you want to do, because you're on the go. You're on the go. You're
so
wanting to go.
That's been really helpful doing that. Yep.
All right.
So you don't regret your choice.
No,
not a bit.
We think we need to figure out who's going to do what. Some rules,
right?
We
got that finally figured out.
but we're getting that.
I
And
do
that's with
dishes.
anything.
I do dishes.
Exactly. So we're figuring out rules, and we're almost there. And we're doing really well.
Who's on poop host?
So you're gonna talk to Brian later. Ask him what happened to him yesterday. I think it's happened to everybody. He was covered in what
Has not happened to me. I've been good.
What comes out of the black tank? He was covered in it yesterday. He'll tell you all about it. Well, I monitor the tank levels, and we were pretty full on the gray, pretty full on the black. I went in the back, and it was perfect. I mean, we don't have a little slinky hose, what everybody talks about. You have to pump it out, but no, it was uneventful.
Airstream for the win.
Yeah.
So
Rich came in with rubber gloves on. He said, I didn't even have to use my rubber
Oh
gloves.
my goodness. Well, thanks for the time. I really appreciate
absolutely.
that. So,
very much. Thank you.
Van life is still.
It's good.
It's still good. We've still been checking it.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. And whoop-bam! It's like a magic trick. We're back again. So Sheila, why don't you share some of the downfalls of maybe van life? We watched a lot of van lifers in some of the places we were at.
Well, I think van life would be, then this is all just our opinion.
This is a personal,
Just a personal opinion. Beauty is all the places that you can go. You don't need a separate tow vehicle because you just up and go.
A lot of freedom.
Yes. You can park pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, you could be in a parking example. Give you an example. She doesn't, we don't talk through our videos, but the examples pop in my head. When we were in Key West, when we were all the way down there, and parking was horrible, and towing a big rig down there, but we saw van lifers just parked on the side of the road in a regular parking spot. They've got their air conditioner on. They're hanging out down there.
We've seen them just on the beach.
Yeah,
talking
about that, I keep saying I think I would like to do a season of van life type stuff. She's like, that's kind of small. So we haven't really kind of settled into that, but I see so much benefit to that. But there is a little bit of a downside.
Well, the downside is the size, in my opinion. I wouldn't full time in a van life, However, I think there's probably people that love it.
Oh,
absolutely love
there.
it. Or solo travelers. Gosh, like I have some older female friends. That'd be perfect for them because it's easy to drive.
Actually, in Orlando, we camped across the street or across the way from a van lifer. She was a solo when she had an older dog. And the downside when she left, though, she would have to go in and pull all of her stuff in. And
just even she's going to make a quick run to the grocery store, you got to pull all your electrical, all your hookups. But
that was it.
That's
really.
it. I mean, there's not a lot. Yeah. So
just size.
Yeah. So I think van life is a great option. I would say for the occasional and the seasonal, but you can go anywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of great YouTube channels that are doing full-time van life right now. But you are looking
gonna be us,
at prices from like $120,000 to $280,000 for a really nice van lifer. Like the off-road van lifers are awesome.
But there's lots of other economical options.
I understand.
Well, you don't want to exclude.
I'm not excluding no one. They can Google search that stuff. I'm
my
just
goodness.
telling you my thoughts.
Okay, let's talk about the next one.
Yeah, that's how Sheila transitions.
Sheesh.
What is the next one?
There, you could do a travel trailer, which is something you're towing. Mm-hmm. So you do need a vehicle for that.
Yeah.
But you could use all kinds of, maybe a vehicle that you already have.
Yeah. We talked about, using, you could still go back to the minivan or
But there's all
cars.
Sizes of travel trailers. Like we looked in like these little itty bitty like R-Pods. I think
the R-Pods. Hey, yeah, we walked through one of those too. Now this is an interesting thing because they don't have the pop-out things, but they are a little different in the inside. I think we shot video on that too. So let's roll to that so we can just do a walkthrough.
Okay. That other R-Pod. Sawdust fairy spin here.
Do we have bunks?
Well, so something like this would really be like if you're just getting started. Like if you were like, okay, I want to camp, but I don't want to be in a tent because I want an air conditioner and a place to do some cooking and a little bathroom. Something this size would work because there's a bed that folds out. You could put 2 more kids here and dang, you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people in here. I wouldn't do it, but you could. $23,000.
Yeah, I actually think this is a really good. This is like the next step from tent, or maybe some people are using now tents on top of their cars.
Or those pop-up, like those the pop-up trailers.
Yeah, like the old pop-up trailer where you had a bed that went out one side and a bed that
we
went out
saw
the
one
other.
the other day that I thought was pretty cool. Like it went out even farther. Like they've come a long ways with those. So that'd be like.
So this would be another option.
Yeah.
We're back. We're like genies in a bottle.
But
I'm
then
a genie in a bottle, baby. What?
I'm really trying.
Go into the R-Pod. Go into the R-Pod because this is important. They need to know.
Well, it's not just the R-Pod. There's just the small. There's small travel trailers, and there's all the way up to. I don't know.
Well, the cool thing about the R-Pod is you get them an off-road
That is just
capability.
a specific brand.
Yes.
We're not talking about brands. Just talk size.
Size, yeah. And you could see those different sizes that we had in the video. But just the idea of getting the ones. Have you seen the ones with the big, huge tires and you go off-road with them?
You were on the off-road. The step up to the tent.
Look at this. It has a bed.
It
turns into.
Looks like. Well, there's something on the other side. So,
Yeah, all of your stuff's outside.
Oh, it can fold up to a couch.
Yep.
So it's like a tent on wheels. With some power.
And you go all the way up into, and you have the. I think those are
Where
really
are they going
cool too.
all the way up to?
Okay, example. When we were in Montana, in Wyoming, and those places, there was some amazing places that you go off-road in BLM land and go up. Or even in Colorado we saw, you can go up and you can be out of it.
With a little travel trailer.
Well, they have the big tires and they're
I'm
off-road.
feeling like you have this desire to go off-road
I want to try
right
it.
now.
Yeah, I
This
want to try
sounds
it.
like a...
But that's in that class, though. That's in that class.
Yes, but we were talking about all travel trailers.
I know. I'm sorry, I digress, but I'm just sharing with my heart.
I think I hear a men's caravan coming.
Ooh, yes! Why didn't we ever think of that? We have not thought of that. She just blurted that out.
Yeah,
but
it was, off-road.
Okay.
Yep.
So we've gone through those 2, 3.
Well, are we going to finish talking about travel trailers?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we're going into the bigger travel trailers, right?
Oh, I didn't know. You said 2, 3.
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
okay. Travel trailers.
Mm-hmm.
We have walked into some that are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what? Was it a 25 or 28? Maybe a 30-foot travel trailer. So the disadvantage of a travel trailer is what, Todd?
Well, the disadvantage is still you're dealing with space. So if you answered those decision questions before, and that decision question would be, am I going to try to go full time? This starts becoming a question. You can answer that question fairly easy in that van lifer because that's a different lifestyle. But when you're talking about just going out, the occasional or the full timer or thinking, that travel trailer is where people will generally start. I've seen a lot of
full timers in travel trailers.
Now, disadvantage, still a huge pro. It can be towed by anyone, and they're for just about any vehicle, and you'll be able to. They're affordable, so I think they're amazing to get started. You can add different things. They have actually okay storage, but the way the frames are set up, the storage isn't like real big. The basement storage is not. And a lot of them will not have like a generator. You won't come with like an own generator. A lot of them will have like 1 or 2 smaller propane tanks. There's just some nuances in those.
They might not be ideal for long stints of boondocking if you don't have a generator. I guess you could do solar.
Yeah, and the old adage of, do we want a washer and dryer or not? Well, let's kick that out the window. Very, very few on a travel trailer you're going to find a washer and dryer. And a lot of people are going to laundromats and stuff anyway, so that's not a deal breaker. But in the travel trailer space, now in a lot of them, it's great for families because now they're turning around and they're making a lot of bunks.
They have
as
bunks.
well.
Yeah, they have a lot of bunk houses. There's some great. In fact, we toured a travel trailer when we were showing our daughter some options.
Oh yeah.
Because our daughters are like, oh, maybe they're going to get the little travel bug with us.
Okay, how about we do this? We were in a place and we toured. We'll do like the really nice stepped up, like all the bells and whistles.
Did we do one with a bunkhouse though too? I think with families, a bunkhouse is an important option.
I'll have to look through the footage and see what we find.
I think we did.
Whether
you kept it or not is another.
We may have 2. We may have one with the bunkhouse and the walkthrough, and then I know we have the one where that Jayco was like the nicest, stinking pull-behind travel trailer.
Well, you have Airstreams too.
Yeah, Airstream is in that, and that
travel trailer.
is that. Now that's a whole nother lifestyle, but it does classify in the travel trailer.
You do have some sway with a travel trailer that you don't have in the bigger rigs that we'll talk about.
Mm-hmm. But that can be alleviated by how you're towing, and this goes into hitches. We're not going to go into any of that with our stuff because that's just after you've chosen your rig, then all those accessory type things and how you tow and things, that'll be different.
Yeah. So I would agree with you. Travel trailer has a lot of advantages. Still, you can get into those parks. It's affordable. It's a great, I think that's a great option.
It's a good idea.
Good option.
Let me show them those 2 videos, and then we'll come back and go through the rest. Nice.
Yeah, for 6,000 pounds, you've got quite a bit of space in here.
Show them the bathroom entry. Yeah, 2 bunks.
2 bunks, and then the bathroom with the door that, kids are outside playing. They can just come in and go to the bathroom and not bother you while you're cooking. I like that.
Huge. And then you've got your bedroom.
Yeah, there's clean up there with doors to provide some privacy.
This is pretty nice. You're still going to be spending around that $40,000 range new. I mean, you have to keep that in mind as well.
Right.
So depending on budgets and depending on where you are, if you have 5 kids, 6 kids, I mean, this would actually work.
You would hold them all.
Versus doing a pop-up camper or a mighty tow or something like that, those little bitty tow behind things. But that would be better than tent camping or something. So this is a nice setup. It's really kind of surprising that it has this much room. So you want to go show them the Taj Mahal as far as like how nice something like this could be?
There's a Jayco on the lot.
Yeah, there's a Jayco. Now we're gonna run.
Jayco
We're gonna run. You're gonna have to be towing like an F-150 or a 1500 to be able to tow this other one. But I was surprised.
I was surprised too.
Let's go get surprised.
Again, though, like a travel trailer is a good option because you have your vehicle to go into town somewhere. They're short enough to get into most state parks and national parks. Still, not like us.
Other thing though is, there's so many different floor plans and so many different manufacturers. You're gonna have to really do your homework to figure out which unit you'd like. But if you know you're in this travel trailer area and you know the size, narrows it down so you can actually focus in on budgets and weights, things like that, amenities that you might like solar, things like that. This one has solar. It actually has cameras on the side of it so you can see down the side of the unit. Again, it's the Eagle HT, which means half ton. By Jayco. This is their top of the line when they do all the stuff in it. Wow.
Now there's a lot of space in here. Because this would be, oh, well, it's a little shorter, but this would be where you could shove your motorcycle, Todd.
I'd have to cut this wall out, put a ramp.
Oh yeah, there's that.
But the bunk space and the place for the kids.
Just a place for the kids to call their own and put their own stuff, and it stays out of the.
Yeah, we personally never really looked at these because we needed the toy hauler capability. But look at this, like the finishes. It's actually real wood. So it's just really nice.
We don't want to focus too much on the floor plans and the types. We want to help you understand what might be the best type of rig for you.
Yes.
And a travel trailer can go all the way up to something like this is a $74,000 travel trailer, or you can get something much smaller. But
you're dealing with only like a $9,000 pound tow rating.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And then look at the bedroom and the bathroom. Look at this.
And we didn't go anywhere, but here we are. We're back.
Yeah, I think they got that though. I think they understand now the rhythm of the video.
Rhythm of the video. Okay, good.
Okay, now we're on to something that we'll probably end this video, this part 1 on. You think?
Yeah,
okay.
I think that these are 4 good size options if you're thinking about, that would be a C.
A C. Not a Super C.
Just a Class C.
A C. And that generally will be like on a van chassis, and you see those where they're really long and everything's self-contained and you have a bunk that goes over the top, and they're usually lower in profile.
And you drive them.
Mm-hmm. It's like van life, but bigger.
Yeah.
And that poses now a little more headaches because of parking and finding. You can't just go into a regular parking place with a C.
You need a little bit larger.
More room.
But you can still hit all the parks that we've been talking about, all the boondocking options. You still have to, though, unhook everything in order for you to go somewhere. But you don't have to buy another vehicle.
Right. And you will find these a lot of times driving on the highway and you're wondering, it's that rent RV. Those are C's generally, just a C. And you see them going down the highway and people are renting them for extended trips, 2 weeks. You know, they're running to Yellowstone and stuff. If you're going to choose a C, you can choose a C for the RV lifestyle and going full time. I think it's going to come with its own set of challenges. I think what will end up happening is that people will probably tow something in that category if you're going to try it full time, because you're now bigger and it's harder to just run to the grocery store. You might end up in the full-time world. If you're doing occasional or weekends and stuff, that's a different story. That's just our opinion. I'm processing out loud.
Is there a generator on board?
Generally on AC, a majority of them will come with a generator. And they usually are all self-contained. Your water capacity is going to be just a little more than what you would find in a travel trailer in most instances. And you're still going to have your propane and everything like that. But you generally will have a little more basement storage in a C, just because the way, again, how the chassis sits. And so that's pretty helpful too. And a lot of people I've found on C's will end up adding solar. It's just that next level before you start going into a little bit bigger rigs and buying tow vehicle and all the other stuff coming into play.
To kind of summarize.
Yes.
If you have, did we look at any C's to give them an idea?
As a matter of fact, we did!
Look at that.
I don't remember where it was, but I know I have the footage and I will dig it out. I think we walked through a brand new C, and I think I even got the price on that one. I don't remember what state it was. So when we're traveling, we're talking about video stuff all the time. And then we were thinking, we didn't interview anyone with a C, I think we just walked through on that scenario. So let's show you just a standard C that we found that was actually, I think, probably around the 30-foot range, and show you the amenities on that. But I have to find the footage. I think it's right here somewhere.
This is a C. Class C, which I think, since we're full-timers, it's not probably what's best for us, but for people that are going to go away out for the weekend or for a week, I think it's a great choice. You can fit into national parks and state parks. You don't have to tow anything because you can drive this to Walmart and get your groceries. And it has everything you need. Place to sleep, place to sit and relax, place to eat, place to cook, place to go to the bathroom, and a whole bedroom back there. I feel like that's a good option.
You have a lot of room. This is a wide-angle lens for a C.
And isn't there a slide out?
There's a couple slide outs. This one actually has a bunk. This is the bigger of the C. C stands for cab over. So you've got the bed that's over the cab. And so you have a Super C, which is a beefed up motor, and a lot bigger that you can tow behind and pull your toys and whatever else you want to do. If you're dealing with just a C, they come in different lengths. This is probably one of the longest C's that you can get because of the bunk and things like that. I like it.
You could fit.
I could not see doing full-time in this. Like you said, it would be a
But
3-week to 6-week outing with the family, and then some weekends other places.
Yes, and I think, like, we have friends, Tish and Christy. I think this would be a good choice for them.
Absolutely.
Because they
They
can
would
drive
love to travel
it.
and go do somewhere.
Drive in it. It's got enough room for them. You know.
Yeah. Now remember, when you're dealing with this type of thing, you're almost dealing with the same with this as you would van life, where you have to unhook everything to go somewhere, unless you're towing something behind, and that's where the Super C comes in. But I mean, just going out on a family outing and doing that kind of stuff, I think it's great. Now you're gonna still pay quite a bit of money for it because you're paying for the engine and the chassis and everything else than you would comparatively towing something behind your truck or whatever else you have. So
I can see, though, in this one, you could sleep 8 people.
oh, comfortably.
Yes, I mean, there's plenty of room, for sure. And while you're traveling down the road, you can still get up if you needed to and use the restroom.
My thinking is I wouldn't want to travel with 8 people. That's just my in here. I just don't think but
Well, yes, I mean, I get what you're saying, but
it's good.
I think it's a good option.
This is the option.
A C is a good option.
And I don't know
If that's-
the length on this one.
It all depends on what you're gonna do, where you're gonna go.
Yeah, I can't
How
see
you
the
gonna
link on
keep-
this. I bet it's close to 34 feet.
This is a cute feature where you can have the bunk push this up, and then the kids can have a place to sit and play, have their own space.
And you have a queen size bed back here.
this a door. They're already creeping on surprise. Okay, so we covered 4 different types of rig types for you today. The smaller options, the pop-ups, the travel trailers, van life, and the sea. All great options for getting into those parks, being able to travel into a lot of places, not needing a whole large amount of space. 2 of them you would need a tow vehicle, something to tow it with. The other 2 you drive. So I just feel like those are like
they're good options.
They are good options.
And we're not talking price because you can go anywhere. You can find used ones and older ones. You can find so there's a variety of that. I think you're really just trying to narrow down. Like, okay, you know, what is it that we think will work with our lifestyle? We're taking 2 dogs and we're older and we have like the grandkids, or we're in, you know, we're starting our travel stuff, we needed bunks because we have our children, or there's going to be those questions, but it's going to kind of fit into these rigs that we just shared with you on this side. Now, we'll cover on the next video on part 2, and we're going to get into Super Cs and A's and
fifth wheels
and the differences between those and these, and hopefully that'll help. But we thought this was a good jumping off point to at least start sharing that. Wouldn't you think?
I think these are really good options, especially if you're going to just be occasional or that seasonal.
I say majority. I would say 75% will use all of these rigs on that occasional or seasonal scenario. And you'll find the hardcore 25. Well, van life is so different. I can't even put those statistics because a lot of full-timers in van life.
And there's some great travel trailers out there.
And Airstream. Airstream is a full-time. A lot of full-timers are on Airstream. So it's not even like can't even put a box around it because it really comes down to
it just comes down to the things that you must have. Like if you're somebody
like a motorcycle.
Yes. That thing really determined our choice.
It determined our choice, and we'll share that with you in the next video.
But if you're somebody that's, you know, when you go somewhere, you're going to cook outside and you're going to go out to eat a lot, you might not need a travel trailer with a kitchen. So just think through those things that you're like, I must have this.
In any case, all of these rigs build amazing memories with your family and your friends and your partners. And I cannot say enough good things about the RV lifestyle. I really can't. I think, again, I come back to the memories built on this world of going around. You will remember the camping trips. No matter if you're sleeping on a tent and laughing because a storm came through and the water flooded out your tent and you got total, or you had a pop-up tent and the one side wasn't good. There's all these different memories you will build, and they will last all the way until the very end. And when you're making that end-of-life video for the one you love, that's the video. That's the thing that people will share. They won't talk about what you were in. They will talk about the memories of hanging out together. And I think that's our passion on trying to help. Now, everything we just said, disclaimer, we don't know it all. I mean, we've only been in this now, 7 months?
8
months? Mm-hmm. And it's just things that we have picked up on in different campgrounds and stuff we've been in. Don't you think? I mean, it's been amazing, though. I really feel blessed in that scenario.
And we're just sharing what we have found out. Mm-hmm. But I think, just to reiterate what Todd is saying, is just that these first 4 rig types they're great options to get you started.
Yeah,
that's it.
Even if you're grabbing a tent and 2 sleeping bags, it doesn't matter.
Yep, just go out, experience it. And a great thing maybe to do is to go to one of your local dealers, and there's places that you can rent one. Just rent one for the weekend. Go try it out. See if you like it. You know, before you make that huge huge
We didn't do that, just so you know. We jumped in both feet and just ran.
As you can probably figure out, that's our personalities. Already. You already knew that.
And that being said, you should do what, Sheila, on this video?
Well, they should like and comment and subscribe and
Tell
share.
us all the things in the comments on where we're wrong.
That too.
That too, because that might spur us into a different type of video.
You know what I love is that when you do make comments, it just helps other people that are watching.
Yes.
We're all learning from each other. So
that community thing we always talk about.
Yeah, we like that.
Welcome to the Switch Crew community.
That's our favorite part.
Tutus for everyone. Oh, they don't know what that. If you haven't seen the video, you can go find the tutu sawdust berry. But I digress.
That definitely did
Okay,
not need to
like,
be
comment,
brought up.
subscribe. Never again. She's like, my eyes are still burning. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in today. We look forward to bringing you part 2 on this wonderful series, Is the RV Lifestyle for You? And with that being said, Sheila, we are...
Out.
I love you.
I love you too.